Hello, I'm Gayatri Jaikumar and welcome to my channel. Here I give tips and tricks on IELTS and also various lessons about English language. So in this video, I'm going to give you a very short intro on IELTS. Now, basically, IELTS is an aptitude test in order to check how well you can understand English and also express in English. So it has 4 modules. You have listening, you have reading, you have writing, and then you have speaking. So your exam takes place in the same order that I've given you right now. It is L, R, W, and then speaking. That is the order that your exam will be taking place, but it will also depend on the institution that is if you're choosing IDP or British Council to attend your exam, that the order slightly changes. So first of all, your listening, your reading and your writing test will take place together in one stretch, and your speaking will be scheduled on a different day. Now, if you're taking computerized IELTS, that is also an option that they provide right now, which means you can attend the exam completely on the computer except for speaking. So speaking is same for all. A person who attempts the written exam or for the computerized exam, speaking is the same, because when it comes to IELTS, you have to give a face-to-face interview with the examiner. Whereas for TOEFL and all, it's like a recording that you have to do, not a face-to-face interview like that. Rather for IELTS, you have to basically have a conversation with an examiner, and don't worry, I'll be explaining about all that later. So listening, reading, writing and speaking. Now I'll be explaining each of the module as we go further. But first of all, you really need to understand that IELTS, like I told you, is an aptitude test, and hence, even though there are many tips and tricks available, those quick tidbits and stuff, there is no real shortcut into getting a higher score other than to really and honestly work on your language. So why? Now, this is why. When it comes to IELTS, the test, it is for them to see how well you can understand English, and like I told you, how well you can present in English. The listening test is for them to check how well you can understand speech in English. So you will have conversations given to you in audio recordings, and you will have to listen to it and you have to answer. I'll be telling you how in a while. And your reading is for them to see how well you can comprehend English in the written form. Okay, so listening is for them to check how well you can comprehend English in the spoken form. Reading is for them to test how well you can comprehend English in the written form. Writing is for them to check how well you can present in English in the written form, and speaking is for them to check how well you can present in English in the spoken form. So basically, it depends on your comprehension and your presentation of the language. Now, for this, it is not like an overnight thing that you can do just like that. The basic key and the basic trick is to improve your language. Now, how can you actually improve your language? There are 2 easy ways, very, very easy ways. Now, these are the ways that we have adopted throughout the ages in order to master our own language, our native language, or any other languages that we know. So basically, the first thing is simply listening, and the second one is reading. The easiest way that I advise my students is to watch cartoons in the language that you want to learn, or you want to develop or to improve, basically. So how and why? Because think of your baby steps in your own native language. So how did you learn that? No one taught you. No one gave you cheat words or code words or tips or tricks to kind of learn the language. But you learned it because you listened to others speak in your language, basically your family. You listened to them, you tried copying them, you tried pronouncing like them, and basically that's how you actually learned your own language. So the easy way to learn a language is to listen to it, is to listen and understand how how you pronounce each and every syllable, or how you string together words into a sentence, and how can you get it right out of your mouth, basically and literally. So the best thing is to watch cartoons in that language. Now, why cartoons? So I've always had, like, teachers advising me to watch the news, listen to the news. I mean, yeah, it's good for general knowledge, but it's hardly interesting. So, and also the next advice is usually to watch films. Okay, that's good too. But what happens is, every time I watch an English film, if there is a subtitle under it, naturally and automatically my attention is hooked on to that subtitle, so I keep on reading. So reading is all that is happening. I can hardly watch what is on the screen. I mean, seriously, I would be wasting my time reading rather than watching half of the time. So the best thing is, cartoons, they don't give you subtitles, and if at all, just switch it off. Now, why also cartoons is because the pronunciation is very clear, which means you can catch it easily. When you're watching all these English films and English news and all, sometimes it is very difficult for you to pick up things. That is also because you have, sometimes you don't have a clue of what is happening. But when it comes to cartoon, it is made for children, which means you can definitely understand what is happening on the screen. So even without language, you will be able to comprehend cartoons. So the trick here is that you will be bored of what you're actually seeing on the screen. It's not that mature enough for you. But since you want to learn the language, you should listen, which means whatever is happening on the screen, you will understand what they are saying, or you know the context already. So it is easy for you to comprehend what is happening there. So automatically your attention will be directed towards the speech, which means you will be catching how they speak, how they interact, how they respond in natural life situations. Now, news and films, they don't really give you that kind of situations. Even though films do, they are a bit more faster, badass dialogues and yeah, stuff. You understand that. But when it comes to cartoon, you have the routine stuff like talking to your parents, or talking to your friends, or hanging around with your friends, or going for a job and that kind of things. And that too in a slower pace, in normal life-like pace. You only have half an hour or maximum 1 hour of episodes for the cartoons. So it is much more easier for you to understand because it is in a much more slower pace. And also, the best thing is, the speech that you hear in cartoons is very, very similar to the speech that you get for your listening task for your IELTS. The only difference being, cartoons are a tad bit more faster than the listening audios that you get for IELTS, which means if you can actually catch each and every single word that they say in the cartoons, you will definitely be able to catch and also understand whatever they give you in the listening test audios. So that is the easiest way to really pick up language. And the more cartoons you watch, even without knowing, you will be learning all these. Even without you trying to take an effort into learning all these, you will naturally be involuntarily catching all these words and phrases and how to pronounce and stuff. So this will involuntarily get into your head. You will be imbibing all these things. Which means no effort taken, enjoyable way to watch, and you get entertained as well. So double on the go. And the next one is reading. Now, why reading? I mean, writing is an easier way, right, to get your sentences right and everything, but no. Because when you keep on reading things, and when I say things, it is like, just basically reading anything that comes your way, but mostly stuff that really interests you, but not science texts or anything like that. But you can definitely read the articles that you get on your phone. Especially now you have millions and millions of websites giving you articles. Just when you open your search engine, you get lots and lots of articles that you can actually scroll through and simply have a quick read of everything. They give you good words. They give you error-free language. They give you language that are really interesting in a way. And also, you have the correct form of sentence structure and everything in there. So the more you read, that happens, like what happens when you're listening, the more you read, your brain involuntarily picks up all these words and phrases, how the sentences are formed, And you just need to be a bit conscious, because when you see a very good structuring, when you see a combination of words that really amazed you, you should like read it a couple of more times, so that you can actually kind of, anything that kind of fancies you, just go ahead and read it a couple of more times, so that you can literally get that into your brain. So keep on reading, and without you noticing, involuntarily your writing style will also change. Now this will also help you in a different way, because our eyes also have memory. See, the thing is, we know a lot of words, but we never actually took an effort to learn the spelling of all these words. I mean, conscious effort. So, how do we know the spelling of all the words that we actually know? Only by reading. When we saw the words like many times, all those simple, usually naturally, not naturally, I'm sorry, frequently occurring words, your eyes kind of pick up the arrangement of letters within the word, and it automatically is fed into your brain, even without you writing an imposition, or even without you trying to by heart the spelling. It automatically gets into your brain when you see the word often. So the more you read, the more words you see, and the more times you see the same word over and over again, and gradually the spelling gets into your head. That is how you know all the spellings that you actually know. So you don't even have to write impositions or anything like that for this. The more you read, the better your spellings will be, the better your grammatical structure will be. There is absolutely no help in learning grammar by heart. Simply by learning grammar will not help you. You will need to know how to use it. So that is why the more you read, the more you listen to the language, automatically the rule of how to use it, how to string it into sentences that are meaningful, that are correct, and how to string sentences into a meaningful paragraph automatically gets into you. So the best way is to expose yourself to the language, and the best way of exposing yourself to the language is, one, watching cartoons, because that is effortless and the information kinds of codes into your head without you noticing, and also to read as much as you can, because reading not only improves knowledge, definitely it also improves your language. So give it a try, it will definitely help. So if at all you are planning to write IELTS, start reading. Children's books will be my first suggestion. If you're not an avid reader, go ahead with like writers like Roald Dahl or C.S. Lewis or Dr. Seuss or Enid Blyton. All these writers, they write amazing children's stuff. So try it's worth a read. So try reading them, and also just listen to cartoons more. If possible, I'll just link up some of the, I'll give you links for a few cartoons that really helped me improve my language. And if at all you think that I have good language, it is only from watching cartoons. If at all, like all that I did to improve my language or to have this language at all is, I don't know, like sit and watch cartoons all the time. That was the only thing that I did. And also to read a lot. I read a lot. So only cartoons and reading is what can really help you. That is an effort from your own side, a sincere effort from your own side into improving your language. So improving your language equals better and higher score for IELTS or even TOEFL or CELPIP, whatever language test you are taking. So that is listening, that is reading, for writing and for speaking. These two techniques are the best techniques that you can actually work on. And now the next thing that you can actually do every day is, I have already asked you to read every day or watch cartoons every day. Now, when you're doing this, you will definitely come across new words. You will definitely come across lots and lots of new words, in fact, because even a children's book will give you more than 8 to 10 words in a few, 10, 20 pages. So the trick is not to learn every word that you see, but to check the meaning of every word that you see, because definitely you will find those words again. You will not remember the meaning of each and every word that you read every day. So the trick is to limit it to a number that your brain can actually process. So my golden number is 3. 3 words a day. That is when you're reading, and also pick these words only from what you read or what you hear, because that way you will know the context that these words appear in. You will know exactly where these words were used, in what kind of sentence, in what situation, in what emotion, sense, and everything. So that is the easiest way to actually master a word. That is not it. Another trick that I always advise my students to do is to definitely learn 3 words a day, but also to make it a habit to make that word a part of your life for that day. So what can you actually do there? Take some sticky notes. You know those sticky notes, those small colorful papers that you can see, that you can write on that and peel and stick it somewhere. So that is a sticky note. Get some sticky notes, get a sketch pen or a marker, write the new word that you've learned. Out of the 3 new words, you will, like I told you, you will find many new words once you start reading, or once you start listening, or once you start focusing on the language. So what you can do is to choose the best 3 words that you think are effective, that you think that you can actually use, or words that you actually find fascinating, or like you find beautiful or worth giving a try. Select only 3 words from your entire list of words. Check the meaning of all the other words, but don't try to learn them all. And that is called gluttony in a way. You cannot swallow everything like that. So choose only 3 words from your list. Take a sticky note. Write the word with a sketch pen or a marker on the front side, and on the other side, write the meaning of the word with a pen or a pencil. Now stick the sticky note, not 1 but 3 words that you have to learn. Stick the sticky note in a place that you see all the time. Now if you're in an office, you have a cabin for yourself or a desk for yourself, stick it there, or on your laptop, or at your home you can stick it on your fridge or your bathroom door, or the wall opposite to your bed, or you know what, next to the TV and next to the mirror are the best places to really stick your sticky notes, so that you'll see it all the time. Now the thing is, not to like, once again, not to write imposition with the word or anything, but every time you see the word on the wall, make a sentence with the word in your head. Now this will be easier for you because you have read this word in a context, you have read this word in a book. Okay, so you know where the word appeared, you know how the word can be used. So every time you see the word, that context will come to your mind, which will make you easier to make a sentence out of it. So the more you do this, the more easier it will become. In the beginning, perhaps it could be difficult for you to learn 3 words in one go. Go ahead and learn 1 word, but make it a point to learn a new word the next day. Now, what do you do with all these sticky notes? The best thing to do is to take up these sticky notes, fold the sticky side inside so that it sticks inside, and then transform it into a flashcard. Now, save all these flashcards. So you will have 1 or 3 sticky notes every day, which means you will have to make sentences in your head. The more time you use a word in your head, the word becomes yours. So throughout the day, every time you see these sticky notes, wherever you have stuck it, make sentences with it, and you will have your own word bank there. Make sentences with it every time you see those. And like I told you, the more times you use the same word, the more you will learn it. You will remember it as well. You'll know exactly how to use it as well. Use it in your head, and that is yours. So at the end of the day, make 3 new flashcards from the new list of words that you've got from your reading, and take the old ones out, for transform it into a flashcard, save it somewhere, and at the end of the week, just go through all your flashcards to make sure that you know all the words. Now if you do not remember any particular word, just put it back up on the wall, okay, just for a day or two, along with your new set of words, because this has already been there, so you will definitely remember this. So this is the best way to ace in any of these language tests, language aptitude tests that you can. So the best way is basically to improve your language, to improve your vocabulary, to learn new words, to read as much as you can, to listen to watch cartoons as much as possible, and also to make it a point to use the words that you learn. Do not write these words down into a book. You will only have pages and pages of new words that you are never going to learn. I mean, think of the many times that you have actually tried it. It never worked, right? So try it this way. Pick out 3 words, And definitely, like I told you, look up the meaning of the other words, but learn only 3 words a day. That is my golden rule, 3 words a day. And usually the golden number 3 that I give my students is like 30 minutes of cartoons a day, 3 words a day, and at least 3, that is definitely more than 3 pages of reading every day. So that is, if you can actually follow that golden number rule of 3, you will definitely improve your language in no time at all. So please give it a try. Improve your language. If at all you have a vague plan of attending any of these aptitude tests or going abroad, or even if you simply want to improve your language, just try this method and it will definitely work.